Hey guys, today I've got a Whirlpool washer and electric dryer. It's not a matching set, but they're both Whirlpool machines. Right now this one's getting started. It's been adding some water, getting started with the blooming action with the agitation plate. So you have two different styles of washers. You have one with a center post agitator, and that essentially moves the clothes in a full tub of water down and around. This style's a little different. How this style works with the plate on the bottom, the idea is kind of like a front load washer where the clothes will fall upon themselves to agitate. That's kind of how this works. It pushes the clothes up out the middle and it goes around and around through the soapy water with the new style HE soap. And that's pretty much how it works. This particular machine will run through several different speeds. So right now it's still getting started. Might add a little bit more water, but you'll hear it kind of slow down, speed up, and move through several cycles of draining the water out, filling it back up. It's got a soap dispenser right here. Whoops, and see it's starting to add a little water there. But yeah, so it's all an automated system. You could pause and read that right there if you want. It explains the whole thing and how this new technology works. But anyway, I'm going to go through and allow it to move through this cycle here. You get to hear it drain the water out next. You've seen it agitate. Then I'm going to show you that it's got a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle on it. All things you'd check out if you were standing here yourself checking it out. It's the purpose of this video. You get to see everything works out perfect. I do 4 loads through every set that I sell. This is the last load. I always film it. Like I said, that way you get to check it out. Then when this is all done, I'm going to move the clothes over to the dryer and show you that the dryer is working perfectly and heats and sounds great and all that. So next we'll come back for the draining. I'll show you the final spin and then we'll move on to the dryer. All right, now we're draining that water out. I'm draining that water out nice and fast. Once it's done draining all the water out, it's going to go ahead and spin to extract that used up water. And then it'll fill back up with water, fresh water for the rinse cycle. Agitate for a bit. Then we'll be on to the final spin, which will come up right here. You'll be able to see that spinning nice and fast and smooth. And that's what we'll come back for next. Alright, so we've got the washer finishing up here. It's getting ready to jump into that final spin cycle now. Just drained all the water out. I got the dryer running. Figured we'd try to save a little time here. Kind of running out of time tonight, so doing what I can here. Time dry. You can set that to high heat. You've got a no heat air fluff setting, super delicate items. Automatic dry, once again you can set the heat. And wrinkle shield, what that does is that essentially will run 5 minutes, stop for 10, run 5, all the way up to 90 minutes here. And it gives you time to get back to that load to fold it up before the wrinkles set in. So that's what wrinkle shield is all about. But I'm just gonna set this time dry, high heat. You got a signal switch here, you can turn that on or off. And I like that in case you got pets, you know, the buzzer's gonna bother, kids sleeping, maybe you can turn that off. I always leave mine off. But we're gonna let that run for just a sec while the washer gets up to speed. You got your lint trap right here. Just wanna make sure that that gets cleaned out each and every load so you got good airflow. You can hear it running. And with your vent hose on the back, once you get that hooked up, it'll be nice and quiet. I don't have that here, so it's a little loud. That's just the air blowing out of the back. So right here I've got a temperature gun. It's about 72 degrees on top of the dryer. 57 degrees on the concrete floor. Just open this up. You see it spinning. Super hot coming out of the heating element tube right here. Heating element's kind of back behind here, and the heat comes up through this hot tube. It's going to heat the inside of your dryer anywhere from 95 all the way up to 195, like when the clothes are all completely dry and it's still running full blast. But typically they're going to stay around the 145 range, maybe 125, 145 as they're tumbling around in here getting dry. Then the air is going to exit out right through there, which is where the lint trap catches it, and it goes out the back of your dryer. That's why you want to make sure you've got good, clean airflow. Keep this clean, keep this clean. You don't want like dryer sheets to get stuck right here, so you just want to check that stuff. Anyway, nice and hot, you can see. We close that up. Hit go. And so that's the dryer. Working perfect, and I've already put 3 loads through it, and I'll have this one going through it here in a minute. once this thing gets up to speed. So what this is going to do now on the spin cycle, it has to reach a certain speed to know it's done. And sometimes that can be 2 or even 3 spin cycles. It also has to be balanced too. So it's going to get going, it'll spin, do kind of like a first balancing spin that doesn't get very fast, come to a full stop, then it speeds up. And like I said, sometimes it can even do a 3rd spin to get going fast enough to know that it's got enough water extracted out of those clothes so that they come out nice and light. As you can see, they're very saturated there, nice and wet. Everything got nice and clean. So for the sake of time, I'll go ahead and pause and come back when this thing is on full blast, full speed. All right, final spin. Getting out full speed. This is the 2nd time it's spun, and I think it's gonna be able to get it in 2 times, no problem. As you can see, nice, fast, smooth operation. And the only reason that this lid is open, I just have an extra one of these little strikers. Bought it online, it's for about $5, and I can stick it in there, and it thinks the lid's closed. That way I can show you kind of what's going on here. Obviously you wouldn't want to do that at home, but for testing purposes, it's nice to be able to see what's actually going on under the hood. So that's gonna do it there. I will go ahead and get these listed up for sale. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks, you guys have a great day.